2022 Bassmaster High School Combine Anglers. Hey, I want to welcome you to my presentation. Today I have with me I have the head coach of Faulkner University, Don Pollard. Don, thanks for taking the time out and kind of sharing your expertise from the 2021 Combine for the new Combine Anglers.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, Chris. I can't believe it's already almost been a year. I think we're going to do it a little earlier this year, but looking forward to another great combine and getting to see a lot of good young prospects.
Absolutely, Coach. And one of the things that I kind of like about you is that you shoot straight from the hips, and you gave some great advice last year to these combine anglers. And I was hoping you would do the same thing. So let's start off with you. Who is Coach Don Pollard? And kind of tell the anglers a little bit about yourself, so when they come in, they already know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, I've been a tournament angler and a Central Alabama guide on Lakes Martin and Jordan. I've guided since 2005, I believe. I fished tournaments since I was a kid with my dad, but fished competitively for about 21, 22 years now. Fishing a lot of different circuits. Still fish the Alabama Bass Trail. Sometimes fish the Bassmaster Opens. Fish some BFL events. I try to give these anglers the ins and outs of what it's like being a competitive angler. I qualified for the Elite Series the first year they had it in 2006, and so I know what it's like to qualify and get into something big like that and have absolutely no plan on how you're going to pay for it. So,
absolutely,
learning how to market themselves.
Absolutely, Coach. Okay, so one of the things the anglers are going to probably ask you first thing is like, Coach, how many vacancies do you have on your team? How competitive is it going to for me to compete, getting a position?
All right, this upcoming year, I'm looking to sign 6 to 8 anglers. Possibly, if I can find the right ones, I might sign a few more than that. We had bad attrition since COVID, and our team was down at the end of the spring semester to 5 anglers. We've signed 5 prospects coming in this year, and I've got one more I'm hoping that we're going to get signed before the fall. So we would like to maintain this team around 20 anglers. So if I could find the right ones and go ahead and get us up to around 17, 18 anglers, I would love to. But they're going to have to be the right fit. I'm looking for the same thing I was looking for last year. I look for every year. I'm looking for young people that can look into the future and willing to make a 4-year commitment and decide that Faulkner is the place that they can grow in their education and grow spiritually, and also become better anglers and better people in the future for having attended there.
Okay, Coach. Now, one of the things, fishing is kind of a byproduct of this, and the academic aspect is probably the most important. Actually getting into the Faulkner University, and then the ability to maintain that GPA so you can fish. So kind of tell us a little bit about Faulkner University and any highlighting programs that may interest the anglers.
Okay. Well, Faulkner now, our fishing program now is under the athletic department. So our anglers that come in, or our anglers on campus, get the same benefits that all the athletes on campus get. They get excused absences for practice and tournaments. That doesn't mean they're excused from their work. That just means they have an opportunity to make it up, or a lot of professors let them get ahead on their work. We have a thing in our classroom, a new technology called Echo 360, where the anglers can they record every class, and the anglers can actually practice on the water all day, go back to the hotel, open up their laptops, and see their class from that day. And a lot of them that do that, they're not even counted as missing class, even with an excused absence. They of course get scholarship money. our scholarships are some based on academics. So the higher ACT scores they've got, the higher grades they've got, the more money I can get them. And it's real important for me to try to find prospects as early as I can, because some of those prospects would qualify to come to Faulkner interview at a Scholars Day that we have every October and actually get more money. Faulkner's got one of the top criminal justice programs in the entire country. They've got a great business school. We've just started a health sciences school that's got some different programs going on. So there's a lot of different options, at Faulkner. And I try to, anytime I contact recruits, I try to go ahead and let them know, what degree programs we offer, because I don't want them to, I don't want them to come there for fishing if we don't offer what it is that they're looking to do.
Absolutely. Now, you said something about bringing them in, October for a scholar. So if you potentially found the right candidates in September 16th through the 18th, would you bring them in for October for that scholarship thing? So that would be the plan?
Yeah, and actually, I had one last year that we actually got into the Scholars Day. It was rush because, like I said, last year, I think the combine was literally like a week or two before our Scholars Day, but we actually got one in, maybe two. I can't remember. I signed two guys last year from the combine, and offered several, and also got contacts with several juniors that I'm, still in contact with, that I'm sure some of them will be back at the combine this year.
Okay, awesome. So, you talked a little bit about your bass program. Would you like to talk a little bit more about how it's set up? A lot of anglers one of the questions the anglers, and it, is like, how often will I get to fish? Or something of that nature. They all want to know that.
Right. Well, we this year we competed in the MLF Southeast Division, and then also in the state federation tournaments. In the past, we've competed in Bassmaster and the MLF. We hope to do that again next year. We're hoping maybe Bassmaster will put on a few more events, or make it figure out a way to make it a little easier to get in for all the schools. But anyway, that's something we'll have to see if it happens. But we may fish I let the team every year decide by our budget what we fish. I don't dictate anything to them. I let them vote on it. The good thing about right now here, with us not having a bunch of anglers, is, they're not nobody's going to be coming to a situation where you've got, 15, 20, 30 guys, already there ahead of you. The freshmen come in day one and start fishing, and I've got big plans for, all of our freshmen coming in this year, of this coming up fall. We're going to jump right into it and fish as much as we can possibly get into and fish.
Okay, Coach. So, you talked a little bit about what kind of candidate, you're looking for. When the angler's at the combine, what traits or characters would you consider, are ideal for you when looking at an angler?
Last year, of course, not knowing what to expect going in, I enjoyed the competition, that they had, but not necessarily. The competing part was all good and well, and that was good. I enjoyed watching how the anglers interacted with each other. I enjoyed the ones that, it seemed that some of the other anglers seemed to gravitate to, seemed like they were leaders. I also enjoyed, the one-on-one interviews and getting to talk to the anglers, for 10, 15 minutes, and their parents. So what I'm looking for is, someone to come in that I think is academically qualified, is a good angler, and is driven to do good, and is self-motivated. Because in college you have to be self-motivated to balance the schoolwork and the fishing part.
I totally agree with you, Coach, on that 100%. And because some of those guys, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And, I know it would be hard balance for me personally. So what advice when would you give to the anglers when they're interviewing with you on that one-on-one situation, or any coach?
Yeah, my biggest advice to them is of course, be themselves. Ask any questions that they might have about the program or the school when they're there with the coach. Don't be shy. Ask the questions you've got. If mom and dad have a question and they're there with the interview, let them ask their questions too. And also keep an open mind. Check out several schools. If you know that you live in Kentucky and you're not going to leave state, or you're not going to travel more than a few hundred miles from the house, then maybe check out a few schools close to you. There's if you know that you're not going to do that, but if you're wide open, check out some schools that you may not have considered. And by the end of the combine, narrow that down to a list of 3 or 4 and actually go visit those schools. It amazes me how many guys and girls I've seen sign with universities that they really, it may have been the only place they went, or may have even decided on a place before they ever visited. Keep an open mind and enjoy the process and take some visits and see. You may find a place that that you may not have considered before that is the right fit for you.
Okay, Coach. So you were talking about the parents. I know some parents will be there to combine, but what are some of the, I guess, maybe a 1 or 2 biggest questions that you get from the parents when you interface with them?
Well, they're going to ask about, the scholarship side of it and what they qualify for. And I tell them all I can that I can tell them there, while they're there, about the academic side of it. Most of our, I can tell you that most of our in-state anglers qualify starting out at around $12,500 is what they get a year. And it just goes up from there, depending on what other academic things they can qualify for. So they also ask about, the programs that we have. They ask about the cost of the fishing team, and I don't know if I said it before, but we not only give scholarships, we cover the travel, cover the tournaments, cover the fees. It's covered for them, so they need to put that into consideration too. About the cost of the schools. And of course they ask about security on campus, ask about parking on campus, for the boats and that sort of thing. But I tried. It was a little tight last year trying to work in the interviews every 15 minutes. I mean, and really get a good interview. If they had a lot of questions. I wouldn't mind seeing that time extended just a little bit this year if they could. But we made a lot of good contacts last year, and like I said, I signed 2 from there. Then, and their parents were there and very involved with the interviews.
Okay, Coach. So let's go to post combine. What would you like to see, or what would you like anglers to do that are interested in your school? How should they conduct themselves, or how should they communicate with you, that type of thing?
Right. Well, last year, the ones who were really serious, we went ahead and had them fill out an application, for enrollment. That's the first thing where I can get them in the system. And then I stayed in contact with them, for several, weeks and some months until they made their decisions. I got their information. I gave them my information, and I just, the biggest thing I would tell them is just be upfront and honest. If you decide that the school that you're, if it's me or anybody else, you decide on a school that if you're talking to a coach and you decide his school is not for you, then tell him, let him know. Don't just stop contacting them, because that just sort of leaves. I've had some in the past, not necessarily in combine, just any time. It's almost like they're scared, to say that they don't want to, go to that school. And be upfront and honest, because all these coaches, we all have a limited number of scholarships, so it's good to know whether a person's in or out once they make up their mind.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Coach. And that way, they're not leaving you hanging. because, you're not going to leave them hanging. So, I mean, it's a two-way street, and, just like I said, man up and be honest and say, hey, coach, I'm not interested.
Right.
A coach is not going to fall for that, and he's not going to be mad at you.
I'm for them. I want to go where they're going to spend 4 to 5 years and leave with a degree. Wherever they go, that's what I want. I want them to leave with a degree in hand, whether they excel in the tournaments or not. I want them to have a degree and not, not pick somewhere just for whatever reason and not be happy with their decision.
Absolutely, coach. So, I'm going to close it out, and I'm just going to give this to you. Is there anything that you would like to highlight or discuss that we may not have covered in this interview?
I mean, not really. I just sort of want to reiterate, to the anglers coming, like I said, be up front and honest, with yourself and with the coaches on what you're going to do. A lot of anglers, I believe they already know that they don't want to go far from home. So, check out. There's schools there from everywhere. Check out schools in your region, but check out several schools from your region. If you're wide open to going anywhere in the country, then check out, several from different parts of the country. If you know that you're not going more than a couple hundred miles from the house, then there's no reason to, check out a school that's 4 or 5, states away, because you might be taking up, an interview time that somebody that, is interested, or not necessarily interested, but would consider going to that school because of distance. You may take a spot that somebody else that could have had, at the combine, and it been a right fit for the school and that angle. And then also, if you don't get the interview with everybody at the combine, reach out to the coaches. If there's a school there that you didn't get an opportunity to speak with for whatever reason, or you leave there and you say, "Gosh, I wish I had spoke to them." Well, that's why we give out all the information we give out, at the meet and greet night. Contact. I'm sure every one of those coaches will be glad to talk to you about it.
Okay, coach. All right. Well, coach, I thank you for your valuable time and your advice for the upcoming combine for the anglers, and I appreciate it. And I just want to wish Faulkner University the best success in the upcoming season. And I'll see you at the combine.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it. We'll see you then.